What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Stochastic channel. Today we're talking college football DFS ahead of the Friday showdown, Week 9. It is FAU Charlotte. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. We're brought to you by Prize Picks. New users can make a deposit, and you will get up to $100 in the form of that match deposit when you sign up. They are also giving you one free month of Odd Shopper. Make sure you check out this tool. It's very powerful. All kinds of sports betting tools helping you with sides, totals, and player props, which translates right over to Prize Picks. They have college football. We have projections for that. They have all the major sports as well, NHL, NBA, NFL, and a ton of niche sports. So check them out. Link in the video description below. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we bring you Behind the Glass. Here's our data usage tool as part of our Stochastic College Football DFS package. Also includes ownership projections, regular projections. If you want that, the link is below. Work really hard on it. And I'm happy to discuss this grimy Friday showdown we have. FAU, 5.5-point favorites over Charlotte currently. This has been bouncing all over the place. I've seen it at -4 in some spots, 42. So this is the current line as of Wednesday, midday-ish. But to dive into these teams, FAU is really fast. They're 28th in pace. They have a 58% pass rate. And Charlotte, almost the opposite, pretty slow, 124th in pace. They're 44.4% pass. So very different offenses here. Both offenses have struggled a ton. For FAU, they lost Casey Thompson right away this season. So they've turned to the Central Michigan transfer, Daniel Richardson. He doesn't offer anything in terms of rushing, -11 yards. He does throw the ball a lot, 30.5 times per game, but just for 174 yards, not efficient. I think he's a contrarian captain piece today. Everything you're looking at, these are prices for the flexes on DK, so he's not expensive in that area. They still throw the ball a lot, and Richardson is not going to be particularly owned. I'm anticipating Jalen Jones, Shadrick Byrd, and Larry McCammon having a lot of the ownership, even LeJontay Wester on the same team. So it's rare you get a contrarian quarterback. But, I mean, he's been pretty bad, so it makes sense. I'll be using him in that regard. He's also a good flex play. Just he has the ball in his hands every play for a team that is voluminous in terms of passing and play volume. Larry McCammon, he's the lead back for this team. Charlotte can definitely be had on the ground. They allow 4.5 yards per carry to opposing backs. McCammon is averaging 20 touches per game flat out. He has the pass game role. He hasn't seen fewer than 3 targets in 4 straight games. He's averaging 4.2 targets per game. Just a locked in. I mean, he's going to be playing with positive game script more than likely. Good matchup. 3 down back. McCammon's very much in play. The change of pace backs here are Kobe Lewis and Kevon Walker. Not much interest in either of them. Lewis probably needs a blowout in FAU's favor to get good amount of touches here. Pass game. LeJontay Wester is your alpha. He's averaging 12.3 targets per game over the last 4 and 13.1 targets per game on the year. 90.5 receiving yards. His floor is so high, he makes sense in all constructions. I have no issues playing LeJontay Wester as a captain or in the flex spot. It's beyond him where things get a little tricky. Tony Johnson, his route rate's been pretty consistent. He's only been below 80% of the routes once this year. Jaquan Burton is the wide receiver 3. His route rate is about 65-ish%. And then the occasional wide receiver 4 is BJ Alexander. He basically soaks up all the extra routes that Jaquan Burton comes out for. Tight end is a pretty nasty rotation. It's literally like 5 guys here. Khalil Brantley, Zeke Moore, Jackson Sumlin, Wyatt Sullivan, Khalil Brantley. I mean, this is nasty. Just play your receivers, your top 4 guys. In order, it's Wester, Johnson, Burton, Alexander. Alexander, very nice value play if you need it. On the Charlotte side, Jalen Jones, we mentioned him. He's an excellent captain option, largely on his running. He's averaging 4.9 yards per carry. That equates to 447 cumulative yards. And this guy's been hurt this year. He's missed multiple parts of games. So the passing stats are underwhelming, only 94 yards per game, but he's missed a lot of time. I wouldn't expect him to push 300 anytime soon, but as a rusher, the floor is good. And then he's going to have a better ceiling than what his current stats have shown. Just healthier now. We'll be playing Jalen Jones. Think he's a top 3 captain. I imagine Shadrick Byrd is going to project this way too. I personally just anecdotally view him as a very good captain option. He's averaging just 9.4 touches per game, but recently he's played a larger workload. We've seen him throughout his career. Last 2 games, he has touch counts of 21 and 12. It is a bit of a committee. Teron Kelman, he's involved. He averages 7 touches per game himself. But part of the reason I think this is consolidated a bit is Darrell Robinson's out. So now a guy that had been getting touches occasionally, he's not playing. Joaquin Bangda, he doesn't play a lot himself, nor does Henry Rutledge. So it's kind of like a 60-40 split in Shadrick Bird's direction, Teron Kelman's direction. Now that I'm talking through it, I think I would rank these captains: Jones, McCammon, Wester is your top 3 in no particular order. And then that's where I would start looking at like a Shadrick Bird type. I think there's a little bit more risk here than those top 3 just mentioned, but still a pretty good play price adjusted. Only $7K in the flex on DraftKings. Receiving game. It's ebbed and flowed a lot for Charlotte. They use a ton of players. So I'll just give you the routes first and foremost. I think we can glean the most information in that. Jack Castera, his route rate has dropped. First 4 games, he was above 80%. Last 3, he's been around 70. So it's not clear why, but they're rotating more players. Dwayne Thomas, route rate of 79% 2 weeks ago, 65% last week. Jarius Mack has been at 60% consistently the last 2. But receiver Sean Brown, 30%, 35%. That's a bit of a rotation. Jack Reynolds, Randy Fields, they'll mix in. So it's not consistent. Even Malik Baker plays a bit. Tight end rotates. It's Colin Weber, Bryce Kennan, and Jake Clemens. About a 3-way committee. So I definitely prefer the FAU pass catchers more. But to rank the Charlotte players, Hystera 1, Dwayne Thomas 2, and then I'll go Jarius Mack 3. Not trying to get a lot of like the Colin Weber types, but if it ends up happening here and there for large field builds, so be it. But that's how I would rank them. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you have a question, reach out on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. We'll be back tomorrow for the main slate. Until then, good luck, everyone. We'll see you next time.